The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior. Risky behavior.
Yo. What is up? What is up? I am live. First things first, I want to welcome you to Risky Behavior ENT. Wrong with you? Don't forget as you come in the building, don't forget to thumbs up the video, like, share it. Alrighty. Let's have a little bit of fun. I want to welcome you all back to Risky Behavior ENT. I am your humble host, Mr. Diabolical himself. And here on Risky Behavior ENT, this is where we don't just report the chaos, we dissect it, we expose it, and we drag it into the light. Today, I want to talk about a case that comes straight out of Polk County. I don't know if everybody's familiar with Sheriff Grady Judd, hilarious, awesome sheriff. And I'm addicted to his channel, the cases, the operations that he conducts. I think is amazing. So today's case comes straight out of Polk County, Florida, where law enforcement has launched a sting so massive, so calculated, and so revealing. They had to give it a name that perfectly fits the energy. Operation Poke Around and Find Out, which of course we all know comes from the popular phrase, fuck around and find out. Now, over multiple days, undercover teams targeted human trafficking networks, prostitution rings, and online child predators. And by the time the dust settled, 266 people were in handcuffs. That's amazing. That's a lot of arrests. This wasn't a small sweep. This was a full-on crackdown on the darkest corners of exploitation, and the results say a lot about who's really lurking in our communities. Let's break down what went down, who got caught, and what this operation exposes about the ongoing fight against trafficking and child exploitation. You. All righty then. Oh, share my screen. All right, so we got here Operation Poke Around and Find Out, 266 arrested, including 34 in U.S. illegally, and Florida sting. And what's interesting to know is this ain't the first time that they've done this, and yet people still keep showing up. It's like to catch a predator on steroids. And no matter how many times people see the episode, they still show up. And you can see what these people look like. I don't know what that is. That's crazy. Anywho, so this is out of Polk County, and I'm gonna jump over into the video shortly. A sweeping multi-agency undercover operation targeting alleged human trafficking and child predators in Florida led to 266 arrests, and that's 439 charges. Authorities announced on Friday. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd described it as one of the largest crackdowns of its kind in the region. He added that the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which of course we know is ICE, helped with the investigation as 34 arrests, including illegal immigrants. Um, Operation was dubbed Polk County Poke Around and Find Out. The 6-day investigation brought together local, state, and federal partners to identify and arrest suspects accused of crimes ranging from soliciting prostitution to attempting to have sex with minors. 19 suspects, including a 68-year-old man who is well known for portraying Santa Claus. That's scary. That one of the people arrested in this thing is somebody who people take their kids to go see around Christmas. Were arrested on felony charges tied to traveling to meet a child for sex or similar offenses, while the remaining 247 arrests stem from prostitution and trafficking related activity. Investigators said the operation resulted in 439 total charges, including nearly 300 felonies and 141 misdemeanors. It also revealed extensive criminal histories among those arrested. Let's see. Aside from ICE, the effort involved a wide range of agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security or DHS, and multiple area police departments and sheriff's offices, as well as state prosecutors. Social service organizations were also embedded with detectives to assist potential victims and provide support services. My bad. Authorities said suspects were caught through a combination of undercover operations, online stings, and coordinated enforcement efforts designed to disrupt trafficking networks and prevent exploitation. The operation is the latest in a series of large scale sting in Polk County, where officials have repeatedly used undercover tactics to target human trafficking and child exploitation. So they've done this repeatedly, and they still keep getting results. These are huge number 260. I think the last time it was over 100. The other one that I were reported on that happened last year. And it was heavily advertised. Sheriff Grady Judd definitely gets online, and I think he deserves to be able to do it, but he gets online and he brags about um his results, and people still show up. Is weird and ridiculous that they still show up for this, but they're definitely not playing around anymore. You have multiple agencies coming together to stop these people, and it's crazy to me, just in one small area. Over And I don't mean to say small like that, but it's not like they got these people from all over the United States. Just in this area for 6 days, that you could arrest 266 people, to me is mind blowing.
Morning, everyone. Thank you very, very much for being with us today. This is an important day. It is a joint operation. As you can see, it's Poke Around and Find Out. We arrested a total of 266 people in a 6-day operation. And we're going to talk.
Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I don't know why Andrew said I look like Malibu's most wanted. Okay. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Marcus Banks, in the building. I had to pause the video, say what's up to you, my brother. How you doing? Good to see you. Shout out TV says, imagine getting locked up for a baby at exactly. Exactly. That's a hard one to explain. Also, what's crazy is he's gonna be holding up pictures and going over some of these suspects. Believe it or not, some of these people were married. So imagine that phone call home to your wife. You trying to explain why you got locked up. That's crazy. And two of the people he's gonna talk about in this video actually brought their children with them. They brought their kids with them to see prostitutes. It's insane.
Talk about that today. But before I do, I want to underscore that it would be absolutely impossible for us to do this magnitude of an operation if not for our partners, our federal partners, our state partners, and our local partners, and our NGOs. So I want to go through the list really, really quick. Brian Haas, our state attorney, and the man who makes it all happen. His office is going to prosecute all of these folks. And as you can see, what a job it is when we dump this many people on your office at one time. So thank you very, very much for the professionalism. He's going to speak as well. I have with me Acting Field Office Director Kelly Walker. She's going to speak as well. I want to talk about ICE for a minute. Now, you've watched all of this national media stuff, and oh, how.
That's Kelly Walker right there. You know, people are against ICE right now. I found this video of her. She's been around for a minute. Let me see. Here we go.
My name is Kelly Walker. I'm a supervisory detention and deportation officer in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I just thought I was like, oh man, you know, she's been around for a minute.
Horrible ICE is. Well, that's just absolutely unequivocally false. ICE has been nothing but the best partner we could ever ask for as we work together to ensure that the people of Florida and the United States are safe. Kelly is the big boss over not only Florida, but all of the islands. And her resources have been nothing but professional and outstanding. And she is the leader that brings it all together. So, Kelly, thank you for being here today. We know because of your level of professionalism and your energy and enthusiasm that we're able to have a successful operation, and it means a lot to us. CFO was with us on our other press conference, Blazing Goya. He sent a lot of folks. Auburndale Police Department, today, Captain Cody Skinner is with us. Bartow Police Department, Chief Steve Walker, and Deputy Chief Dowdy, Deputy Chief Wilson, Davenport PD, Chief Parker. He's our partner and is with us on all of these operations. Highlands County Sheriff's Office participated. They couldn't be here today. Hardy County Sheriff's Office participated as well. Lake County Sheriff's Office, Captain Ron Patton is here. San Francisco Police Department came to be with us in this operation. Now, they're not here today, but they worked with us and they wanted to learn especially about the child predator operations. They want to do those there in a bigger way. So they came to see how we did it. You know, that's like fishing in a barrel out in San Francisco, by the way. One More Child, our NGOs, we are ultimately successful because of our partnership with our counselors. Today, Sinead Dressler, who is the Senior Director of all of Florida Anti-Traffic Operations, is going to speak. One More Child, Stacy Ham will be speaking. Heartland for Children, Katie Ann Parchment, who is one of the mainstays and one of my heroes, is going to speak. She's Prevention and Diversion Program Manager. DCF, where would we be without our DCF team? Michaela Robbins is there. She's not going to speak today. We also had statewide Attorney General participate with us, the Marion Sheriff's Office, the Osceola Sheriff's Office, the Pasco Sheriff's Office, the Lake City Police Department, and the Orlando Police Department. So you can see what the magnitude of this operation is. So we talked.
And he's naming all the people that's really doing the hard work. The thing is, when it comes to like human trafficking and especially crimes against children, it gets overlooked and brushed past. I know that, and I was having a debate with somebody on Clubhouse about this. I was like, you know what? Murder is statistically a very rare crime. And when you look at, and just when anybody else gets the time, just look at the numbers for homicide and then look at the numbers for child sexual abuse material that they find. I think the FBI did an operation. They uncovered over 100 million files of child sexual abuse material. Look at the arrest on here, 266 arrests. The numbers just do not compare when it comes to this, the human trafficking and the abuse of human beings in this country. The numbers don't compare. So I mean the people, and and I know people complain about the Department of Children Services and stuff, but those people are extremely, I mean, overworked, underpaid. They're not paying enough money to get people in there to do these jobs, to I mean, and the number of victims that they have to work with, they just do not have the manpower to accomplish it. So it's very impressive when they're able to all come together and accomplish what they accomplished here.
Talked the other day about the child predators, and we divided it up because of the volume, and we did not want the child predator operation to get washed away in the volumes of people. And we're going to highlight a few of the more outrageous events here that for the human trafficking side. We rescued victims. We identified others who we highly suspect are victims, and our NGOs continue to work with them, and you'll hear more about that even past the operation site. But we made 266 total arrests, and about 247 of them were in the human trafficking operation. The NGO provided services for all of them. Those that we arrested had 1,028 previous charges at some point in their life and career. And we, wanted to give them a present, so we added 439 more charges to their repertoire and their resume, their criminal 439. And we, wanted to give them a present. Had 1,000 services for all of them. Those that we arrested had 1,028 previous charges at some point in their life and career.
That's crazy. Those are the that's insane. The people why are these people on the streets? When you look at some of these, and that's why sometimes I push back when people talk about how crazy the justice system is, how unfair it is, how criminal it is, and I'm like, the justice system ain't tough enough. Many of these people, when he reads out over 1,000 charges accumulated over these people, it's like, why are these people still walking the streets? I don't know if the justice system is tough enough.
And we, wanted to give them a present, so we added 439 more charges to their repertoire and their resume, their criminal resume. We arrested people from 11 states, 18 different countries. 35 were married. I bet that made their spouse really, really excited. And we're going to talk about, and we will allow Kelly Walker. She is the big person in charge of all of this. No ICE work happens without her and her agency's authorization. She'll talk about how many illegal aliens we had.
Shout out to my brother Marcus. Said this is the reason why the U.S. has not been invaded by other countries, because other countries know how sick we really are and dangerous. Yeah, well, you know what? We put up a good front pretending like we're not, though. We pick, but this is what goes on behind the closed doors in the dark alleys and in those hotel rooms.
And what she worked on with that aspect from us. 4 different people brought firearms to the undercover operation. So people that think, oh, this is low level and not violent, that's wrong. It is violent and it's dangerous. And then we're going to focus here in just a minute on what I think should shock the conscience of most people. So having said that, let's go over just a few of these arrests. Here's J.R. Jackman. He's 27. He's from Palmetto. He came for sex, $200. He says he has a top, did you hear that? Security clearance from the military, that he's an Air Force contractor for cybersecurity. Now, don't you feel comfortable knowing a guy with top security clearance is coming to meet a prostitute? That speaking about today. And then there's Salvador Villarreal. He's 44. He's from Winter Haven. Whenever we called the Polk County utility supervisor and said, hey, we've got one of our county trucks over here that one of your employees showed up in to engage in sex, the supervisor said, come on, man, why are you messing with me? He just knew it was a joke. Well, it was no joke. Salvador works for Polk County Utilities. He's a data engineer, and now he's county jail inmate, and he doesn't have the county truck. He doesn't have the county job, but he does have the county jail to rely on.
And that's scary thinking that somebody with, you got the first guy, you got him, he has top security clearance. And then you got this guy, right? And this is even more scarier because this is somebody who potentially could be working in your neighborhood, you know, and you don't know the whole time that this is a predator in your neighborhood around your family, in your community, not just around your family, but your neighbor's family and children and stuff. So it's all scary when you think about it.
So, oh, by the way, he's married. I bet Salvador's wife wasn't happy when he didn't come home in the county truck because, yeah, she thought he was at work.
Ain't that insane though? Like how do you handle that? Will you call home to say why you get arrested? Oh my God, this guy here probably wants to stay locked up, because here's the thing. If he gets out and he goes home, he has to have a very, very difficult conversation with his wife. They might have to force him out of his cell. Come on, Salvador. You nah, no. I stay here. He ain't gonna want to go home. That's insane.
And then there's Ryan Yates. He's from Odessa. Pay attention to Ryan Yates. He was arrested in the January 6th Capitol riot. He entered the building illegally. He pushed against and battered police officers trying to get into the rotunda. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison, and then 3 months home detention, and then 2 years supervised release. He says he's unemployed, and then he got a blanket pardon from President Trump. Well, we're not giving him a blanket pardon. Are we pardoning him? Yes, sir. I didn't think so. Yeah, he got away with it with the federal system, but not here.
I told you the justice system, look, giving people slaps on the wrist and and look what he did. He's a predator the whole time. It is no telling why he was trying to
So we're going to see some of what our witnesses saw on January.
All right, so I thought it'd be interesting to play back because this guy, he gets this slap on the wrist, but this is what he was a part of.
So we're going to see some of what our witnesses saw on January 6th. Let's see the video, please. But please be advised that it contains graphic images and strong language, which many may find disturbing.
Hey, brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Multiple capital entries. Multiple capital entries. Fuck you, police! We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks. This is now effectively a riot.
1349 hours declaring it a riot.
Okay, guys, apparently this tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
I remember them people running for their life too down the hallway. Just retreat, retreat.
If I give this up, they're going to have to run back to at least this Capitol we can defend. We got to hold what we have.
Take your pins off.
Yeah. The fuck?
Take your pins off.
Where the fuck are they? Crucial 50 has pranked 1033. I repeat, 1033, West Front of the Capitol. We have been pranked and we've lost the lives.
Who wants the shields? Lock them together. Lock them together. Patriots, run! Jimmy, get him to the back. Get him to the back. Get him to the back. Let's get some fresh faces up front. Try it. All right, let me out.
Can I speak to Pelosi? Yeah, we're coming, bitch. Oh, my bitch, we're coming for you too, fucking traitor.
They've got the gallows set outside this Capitol building. It's time to start fucking using them.
Start making a list, put all those names down, and we start hunting them down one by one. Mobilize in your own cities, your own counties, storm your own Capitol buildings, and take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers.
So we fucking need to have 30,000 guns up there.
That's true.
Anyway, so I played all that to say that this guy on the screen, apparently he was down there. Yeah, he was down there. So he went from kicking in the doors at the Capitol to going down to motels, engaging in prostitution. So
here. He came here to violate the law. We arrested him. The state attorney is going to make sure that he's prosecuted. And think about this. He didn't resist us like he did the Capitol Police. He knew better.
You know what I love about Grady Judd's videos is in the background, his people, like they look like they don't play. They don't play. And just they don't play. I wouldn't fuck around in Polk County. Not with these guys. Any man that talks like that with that old kind of like Southern drawl, he don't play no games, man. Don't go around there messing around.
Then there's Shannon Brooks from Haines City. Shannon Brooks showed up with a 7-year-old child with him. Now you're going to see some B-roll with a Shannon Brooks.
I'm gonna let you hear that again because he's not playing, and you didn't mishear what he said. He showed up with his own child.
Brooks showed up with a 7-year-old child with him. Now you're going to see some B-roll later on of Shannon Brooks. He's married. He brings a 7-year-old boy into the room where he's going to allegedly commit this sex act with a prostitute. Puts the 7-year-old in the bathroom, hands him the phone to play with it, and says, "Don't answer the MF phone." That's how he talked to his 7-year-old. And then he was arrested. He owns a tree trimming business. Oh, by the way, he's on public assistance. So while all of you are out working, paying taxes, he's taking your tax money and he's engaging.
What a scumbag. So he owns a tree trimming business and then he's still going to get trim outside of work hours. Like what? And then he brings a 7-year-old. Who knows if it's really his 7-year-old? It's scary to think to me that this might be his wife's kid. Maybe he's the stepdad, and that's insane. Like, where's the mom? And how often does he take this 7-year-old with him to go visit prostitutes? You go wait. This is how monsters are made. There is no telling how many times he's done this, and he just didn't get caught. No telling how many times he's done this and didn't get caught. And so, and this is why I think we get some of the monsters that we get. Somewhere on this earth is a little boy who was subjected to being taken to go visit prostitutes with his dad, and he would have to sit in the bathroom while this man engages in sexual acts with a prostitute. And I would hate to think that sometimes maybe I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about what that little boy is seeing. I don't even want to suggest it. My mind just goes places because I'm like, thank God they caught this man. It's no telling what he's been doing with this 7-year-old.
He was arrested. He owns a tree trimming business. Oh, by the way, he's on public assistance. So while all of you are out working, paying taxes, he's taking your tax money and he's engaging prostitutes and he's neglecting his child. So there's all kinds of charges. He also picked up some, we TOT'd or turned over to DCF his child for appropriate placement. But this is the kind of parenting that we want. Come on, man. What are you doing?
And then I'm like, then he's on government, he's on a government assistance, but he has his own business, but he needs government assistance because he ain't got the money, but apparently he got enough money to buy ass. What the hell? This guy looks like a sicko, like seriously.
I want to tell his wife, you obviously married a guy with 5 brain cells, and 3 of them must have been left at the house this day. So at the end of the day, he's locked up. Well, he's not by himself. Derek Partita, 37, brought his 10-year-old child, but he left his 10-year-old child in the car while he was going to have sex. Well, I want to talk about this. This is a very sad situation. And then DCF took the child and made sure the child was appropriately taken care of. This child lost his mother when he was only 2 years old. And this child should have been taken better care of. Who is this guy? What is he all about? And it was sad in one instance, but the 7-year-old child and the 10-year-old child, because it happened in the same time frame, got to be friends while DCF was taking care of them and working through help. So these 2 children were playing together in one of our rooms and made friends.
Now, ain't that some sad shit? Both of these men deserve to get their ass whooped. Seriously. This is insane. This is sad. Look, I met my childhood friends on the playground. When your mom signed you up for baseball or basketball or football or golf or tennis or something. I didn't meet him at no fucking prostitution ring. This is insane. How sex addicted are you that your kid being with you wouldn't even stop you? That's sad.
And then there's Yonor Garcia from Davenport. He's here illegally. And he says he owns a restaurant, Moe's Restaurant. He brought his wife to prostitute. Did you hear what I said? And he was armed with a firearm. He's here illegally from Cuba. His wife is not here illegally. And he had a gun, I guess, for security. So it's kind of a family affair. Hey, honey, let's get married. And then I'll lay up and do nothing. And you go out and prostitute. At the end of her work day, I bet she's not amorous any longer. Then there's Craig Long we arrested. He's 41. Some of you may recognize him. He's an influencer. He also owns Craig Long Fitness in Tampa. He was seeking the services of a prostitute. Did I tell you that he's married? That he's got 125 followers on Instagram, 568 followers on TikTok?
Well, I mean, he's not that much of an influencer. But I get what he's saying. It's weird. So he's married. So we got the first guy comes from Cuba, claims he owns a restaurant. Thank God I've never heard of it. So I can assure you I never ate there. But then most men are protective over their wives. It's mind-boggling to me to think that you have some men that actually sell their wives. It's insane to me. Insane. Then you got this googly-eyed motherfucker right here. It's this is so embarrassing. I don't know what these guys gonna tell their wives, but
Well, I'm going to give him some content for his social media today. He was a previous felon who straightened up, really what we want to see in life. Now he's an influencer. You know, he moves in big circles, even with the president. This is a photograph with the president and his son not long ago. Now, we like to see people who make mistakes early in life, and he had a long history straighten up. We like the fact that he likes the cops. Heck, he liked them so much, he got caught up in a sting and got to be up and real close with the cops. We asked what his attitude was. They said, oh, he had a great attitude. He appreciates law enforcement. Well, there you go.
he's like one of them people that he knows he's sick and he knows he has a problem, and in some sick, weird way, he probably appreciates getting caught again because he's probably been spiraling out of control. I don't know. He's got the picture with Trump though, so I don't know. Think he'll get a pardon? I don't think so.
Got arrested in the human trafficking sting. Influenced that for a while.
He had, what's that dude from Man in Black that played with Will Smith? Is it Tommy? Is it Tommy Lee Jones or something? He reminds me of him. He has that same sense of dry humor. I think that's him. I don't want to say the wrong name. Let me see. Yeah, I got it right. Let me show y'all. But he reminds me of him so much. The way he talks, like if you ever watch like Man in Black. Okay, TB said, yeah, that's the name. Yeah, he reminds me of him when he talks. And so and y'all he reminds me of him. And so I just, when I'm at he finds a way when he does these conferences and he's reporting crime, he finds a way, like with that tone of voice and like Tommy Lee Jones and that dry humor. It's serious and it's funny, but not funny for the victims. It's like, ha ha, we caught the criminal. And so he roasts the criminals. He roasts the people that he arrests and he embarrasses them. And it's just fun. It's just fun to watch.
Then there's Carlos Landaverde.
All right, okay, y'all. This is the funny one. So he says the name. This is Carlos, and then he shows the picture. And at first, when you see like the lipstick and the hair, you're like, huh? At first, I was like, why he say Carlos? I'm thinking he's putting up another woman prostitute. This is hilarious. Watch.
Carlos Landaverde, 29, been here 15 days from Tampa. He was in Tampa. He's been here 15 days from New Jersey. This is his advertisement online to have sex. He's here illegally from El Salvador. So our undercovers go online. He agrees to make a call. We meet him. Whew. This is what he really looks like. Now,
oh my God. Do you see that? You talking about some sheep shit in shallow water. I heard of catfishing, but this this is ridiculous. Oh my God. That and this is why makeup and filters it's demonic. It's from the pits of hell, the devil himself or herself. In this case, they self created it. Insane. TV sees it, man. I'm telling you, it's insane. Oh my God. Ugh. And you know what's so sad about this? I guarantee you, you still had men that showed up and still slept with that person. That's what's scary about it. You have men that showed up and still slept with this individual. Guarantee you.
Tell me something. Is he about as ugly as a mud fence or what? Have you ever seen anything that ugly in your life? How do you transform this? Whew, I can hardly look at it. To this. Now, can you imagine? You think you're getting this, and this guy walks in the door? Yeah. I thought about bringing a barf bag today. And
see, you know what's interesting about watching these conferences is because you get to see these serious people with these serious jobs, these serious professional jobs. You get to see them break character, and you get to see what really brings them joy. And catching these evil, bad people is what brings them joy. I rewind that the whole barf bag thing.
I thought about bringing a barf bag today. And here's the before picture. This is Anthony DeLizzo. He advertised as a prostitute, $300 for sex. He said he's from North Carolina. This is who showed up. So you are engaging this guy, and there he is. You wake up the next morning and you go, there's not enough Tylenol to get rid of this headache.
And what's so crazy and so sick is that you still got people that are going to show up and still do something with that person. Sick.
I can't believe I just slept all night with this guy.
Who's paying $300 fucking to sleep with that? That don't even look good on the filter. This is the makeup and filter and the wig. Like, I don't know. Maybe like somebody, I guess, that's into the whole like cross dresser thing, but I can't imagine somebody paid $300 fucking for that. Or any money for that. That's crazy.
I mean, after all, you know, he's got a shadow on his beard. And then there's Nicholas Murillo. You go online, we did, and you see this and you go, woohoo, man, that's nice looking. If I'm going to violate the law, maybe I want to violate the law with somebody like that. This person's from California, San Diego, just arrived in Tampa 3 days early, just in time to get in trouble with us and go to jail. You look at that and you go, you want $600, but maybe some time with someone who looks like that. Wow.
Did he just say $600? Oh my God. I know it's inflation, but what the hell?
Maybe some time with someone who looks like that, wow. And then this is what you get. Yow. I mean, is that ugly on a stick or what? And they're dangerous. They've got criminal histories. So when you engage in this conduct, you think you know what you're getting. And then there's, this is the advertisement. This is what arrives. And this is what they look like the next morning.
Oh, hell no. You know what? But, to the defense of the people that go to see this person, I don't think they stay till the morning, at least I hope not. What's that they say, like coyote ugly, so ugly, you chew your own, you wake up and they're on your arm, you chew your own arm off just to get up out of there. Just ugly. What up, what up, what up, what up? Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. We're here talking about the Polk County operation called Poke Around and Find Out. A massive sting operation, multi-agency sting operation. 266 arrests, which accumulated to 439 charges dealing with human trafficking, prostitution, and some of these people even attempting to do things with minors.
You wake up the next morning and say, man, I don't think you can drink enough to drink that pretty. But you got to try if you're already caught up in that circumstance. So here we are. You go through all of this and you see the horribleness of it, and we could give you example after example after example. We just picked out some special ones that we thought might want to be recognized today, because these folks, also a smattering of them, have HIV, AIDS. They will have sex without condoms so that they can spread diseases. These are nasty, nasty, dangerous folks. We have everything from first-degree murder charges down to misdemeanors.
And that STD thing, I know people probably they're in Florida, but I know people have been, really talking about what's going on in Houston, Texas, man. That STD thing, serious business, man. I'm talking about the spreading of diseases, and then you got to take into account what he said, 35, 266 people, right? So 35 of them were married. And so you got to know that these people could possibly be going here to see these prostitutes, right? And then going back home to their spouse. And that's just, the 35 people that we know are married. Then add on some of these other people might not be married, but they might have a girlfriend, a significant other that they live with, and so, and these diseases are being spread around. So it's serious business, man. They're going to these places, seeing people that have diseases, people that are, drug addicts, people that are dangerous. They could get themselves killed, get themselves murdered. It's serious business, man.
It's criminal history. And if that's not enough, 22 were on public assistance. Now, I want you to focus on this for just a second before I turn it over to our state attorney. You go to work every day and you pay your taxes. And you pay a lot of taxes. And then the feds are giving them money. So this is the ones that admitted it to us, okay? Admitted it to us that they were on federal assistance. So how much as a taxpayer did you pay to just this group that admitted it? You paid last year $182,256 of your tax dollars to them so they could come here and either sell their bodies or use your tax-paying money to buy sex. That's not all right with me. Now, let me tell you something else. When you get with these agencies and ask them if they'll participate in these stings, they said, hey, we'll be glad to participate with you, but we can't release any information to any law enforcement agency on people that are taking this money unless you're doing a fraud investigation or a theft investigation. So we don't know how many of these people. This is just the ones that admitted it. We don't know how many of these people, but I can tell you what. There's a lot more of them than are on this board. We need to change the federal and the state law so when we're doing a criminal investigation, we can know the whole history of criminals. But that's impossible. With that, I am going to first turn it over to Mr. Haas, our state attorney. You've heard me say this over and over to include today. I am so proud to be able to work with our state attorney's office under his direction and leadership because he does the right things. He holds criminals accountable. And because of his support, we have a 54-year low crime rate here. Mr. Haas.
Thank you, Sheriff. Welcome to Risky Behavior ENT. Welcome to Risky Behavior ENT. Just to start out by saying thank you to the sheriff for the coordination and leadership. I think it speaks volumes that we have all of these agencies at the federal and state, local level that want to be a part of this. And that's because they recognize Sheriff Judd's demand for excellence and everything that he does. And it all flows from that. As I was standing there, I was looking at this board. And I got to say, I'm wondering if I need a few more prosecutors when you look at all those pictures there. But I can rest assured we are ready to go. And I have a great team at my office that are prepared to prosecute these cases as necessary. And we're ready to go on that. I want to just say that it is amazing that every time we do an operation like this, I mean, look at the results. And we could start another one tonight. Maybe there is another one tonight. Who knows? And we would get just as many. And as well as it's publicized about Polk County and everything that we do here, they still show up in droves. So I think that speaks volumes about the problem that we.
All right. So I'm glad he said that. Like, these people still show up in droves. And this is Polk County. Poke around and find out. This is the board of everyone that they caught. And so I was like, what makes people still show up? You know, it's like to catch a predator, like, you know, the threat is there. It's advertised. It's well known, and they still show up. Not one or two, not 10, 20, but 266. Okay, so I got a couple reasons here. I'll be real quick. It's 6 of them. All right. And I looked it up. So let me go to my notes. All right. Number 1, compulsion beats consequences. That's number 1. Compulsion beats consequences. Many of the suspects arrested in Operation Poke Around and Find Out had over 1,000 combined prior charges across the group, showing a pattern of repeat behavior and poor impulse control. All right. One suspect was even arrested, bonded out, and rearrested for doing the exact same thing again. That's not ignorance, that's addiction level compulsion. Number two, they think they're the exception. Sheriff Grady Judd pointed out that suspects came from 11 states and 18 countries, including business owners, influencers, and people with clean public images. They are people who believe I'm too smart to get caught. They won't target this area again, or I'll be in and out before anything happens. In other words, ego is a hell of a drug. Number three, they underestimate law enforcement. Polk County runs these things constantly. I did a video on this one. It was called Fool Around and Find Out. Now they got Poke Around and Find Out, and they have others. Yet suspects still travel from outside the county, 167 of them in this operation alone. That means people are literally crossing county lines thinking they won't catch me. It's just a quick meetup, or they're not watching this site. They don't realize that these operations are multi-agency, multi-day, and heavily resourced. All right. Number four, they believe the victims are willing, so the risk feels low. 108 suspects were arrested for soliciting prostitution, and many think prostitution stings are low level or nonviolent. So Sheriff Judd directly addressed this myth, saying people think it's a low level and nonviolent. That's wrong. It is violent and dangerous. But the people, their mindset is, if it's just a consensual meetup, what's the worst that can happen? They don't see themselves as criminals, which makes them easier to catch. And that's what you see a lot of times with people, and just their view of, hey, look, I'm just going to have sex. It's a natural thing that people do, which is have sex. The only difference is, hey, I'm just paying somebody to do it. I'm not like some murderer or something. And that's how they see it. They don't see themselves as criminals. Number five, predators believe the child is real. That's number five. Predators believe the child is real. So you have 19 suspects traveled to meet who they thought were minors. Predators operate on fantasy, entitlement, and secrecy. They think this is private, or they think nobody will know, or they think I'm talking to a real kid, not a cop. Their delusion overrides their survival instinct. And I'm happy about that, because we need to catch them. So thank God that they're delusional and stupid. Number six, some are desperate, broke, or already in chaos. What this sting found out was that 22 suspects were on government assistance, 34 were undocumented individuals, people bringing children to the meetup. We saw two of those guys earlier in this video. One brought a 7-year-old, one brought the 10-year-old, right? And then another thing that we have to look at is people bringing guns. So this is not a group making rational decisions. Many are already living in instability, addiction, or criminal environments. Showing up to a sting is just another bad decision in a long chain of them. And so that is the reason why these stings, they can do as many of them as they want to, and they will still be successful, no matter how people, no matter how many times people hear about these sting operations, they're going to remain successful.
We have. And so I want to finish by saying a word about human trafficking. And it's a phrase and it's a term that's talked about a lot. And a lot of people do just that. They talk about it. But you got to do more than talk. You got to address the situation
Oh my God. Look at these people. Oh my God. But you know what? Looking at these pictures, are you surprised any of these people are up there? Not to sound judgmental, but you know. And then up top, they got like all the badges. So you got like all the agencies that's involved. I don't know what went on. What went on? My bad, y'all. It just, I don't know what happened. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep. Let me see. Am I back? I'm back. Yep, yep. Let me see. Am I back? I have returned. That wasn't YouTube or anything like that. That was the system shut down for some weird reason. That is crazy. Ooh. Oh well. Also, boom, share audio. Oh man, that was insane, man. Shout out. My bad, y'all. My apologies. Appreciate you. Appreciate you sticking around. I don't know what happened. The system like crashed for a minute. I had to re-upload it. And thankfully it let me back in. Cool. Appreciate you.
You gotta address the situation head on and take it very seriously and realize that it is real and it is happening. and people's lives are being ruined. They are living in absolute terror.
Oh, what I was saying, my point was, is if you look at the pictures, right? When we talk about like why are they so successful when they do these operations, even though people know they're doing these operations, if you look at many of these people in their pictures, you're looking at people, you can just look at them and tell, some of them drugs, poverty, um, mental illness and stuff. And so a lot of these people, they're operating in a state of desperation, and they're going to show up. They're going to do what they got to do to fix whatever addiction that they have or whatever situation they're in their life. And so these operations are going to always be successful.
And when you do these types of operations and you take on the supply, and that you are helping combat human trafficking, but also we're saving people that are caught up in these things every single time. So this is a very serious thing. It's well worth all of the resources that are put into it, and I'm proud to be associated with it. Thank you.
And of course, Acting Field Office Director Kelly Walker. And once again, you watched all of this ICE stuff on television. You watched the liberal media slam ICE. Well, today you get to see the real ICE, the real professional that does it the right way, with cooperation from those in the state of Florida because of our governor and the way we do immigration enforcement. It's all about getting the dangerous people out of society. And this is the professional leadership that ICE has, not only here, but around the country. But that's not what you see. Director Walker, sure.
Thank you, sir. Hi, everybody. My name is Kelly Walker. I'm the Acting Field Office Director for ICE ERO Miami. And what a great opportunity to be here with all of you today in this great environment with our leading Polk County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Judd, and all of the partners that are here behind us. We cannot say thank you enough for the tremendous support that you always provide. We as an agency love to come here and do the work that's being done here in the state of Florida. Here in Polk County specifically, we have 385 287G partners here in the state of Florida, by far leading the country. So I just wanted to say we finished another outstanding operation here, and this is the third one I'm aware of that we've participated in. This one I had the privilege of observing firsthand. I watched as the men and women of the Polk County Sheriff's Office and all of those that were here supporting the operation, including the non-governmental organizations that were there as well, do really tremendous work. It was a proud moment to be a part of that our ICE ERO Miami colleagues were in the room. We were doing the work alongside of our state and local partners and our state attorney general's office. It was just really amazing to see. We have a congressionally mandated mission, and that's to preserve public safety and keeping dangerous criminal aliens out of our communities. We're uniquely positioned to enforce the laws in all states in the United States. We have broad enforcement capabilities for that. This was a prime example of that operation. It says up there that we had 34 here illegally that were encountered. That's actually correct in the sense that we lodged an immigration detainer on more than 30 people, but we encountered 70 foreign-born nationals during the course of this operation. So it speaks to the magnitude of what we're seeing here. Some of them have significant criminal histories before this encounter, and they will be brought into ICE custody after they've completed their time with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, after they've been fully prosecuted, and we'll take the next steps to put them in front of an immigration judge and remove them from the country. Together with all of our partner agencies in 287G, we continue to lead the way. I think as a national standard, ICE, the footprint here in the state of Florida is something that is of great magnitude. We are doing significant work with these partnerships that are alongside of us, keeping the public safe. So I just want to say thank you personally, Sheriff Judd, to all the staff, the community in the room, those men and women behind me and beside me, for helping us bring the worst of the worst criminal aliens off the streets of the communities of Florida, put them into proceedings, prevent them from preying on innocent people and victims, and dedicating themselves to public safety. Thank you.
Sine, come on up.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning, everyone. My name is Saini Dressler. I oversee the anti-trafficking operations in the state of Florida for One More Child. And we had the privilege of standing along this past week. We were able to engage with 70 individuals, of which we've already began to serve about 140 services at this moment. Those services include crisis support, like Sheriff said, including shelter, counseling, and survivor mentorship. What we witnessed were individuals in survival mode, navigating fear, uncertainty, and immediate needs. Some were cautious, others more open, but many were not yet able to identify what was actually happening to them. And that's okay, because that matters. It matters because trauma does not follow a timeline, and recognition cannot be forced. A truly trauma-informed response means that we meet people where they are, with consistency, respect, without judgment, and we remain present until they are ready to take the next step towards safety. Let me be unequivocal. Exploitation does not occur in isolation. It is sustained by demand, enabled by vulnerability, and allowed to persist in silence. Without a coordinated and deliberate response, it will continue, unfortunately. This is a call to action to all of us. The conversations need to remain ongoing outside of this. We need vigilant communities that recognize and report concerns. We need systems that prioritize survivor-centered care. And we need firm accountability for those who drive and profit from exploitation. Ending this requires a unified, uncompromising commitment to make it clear that this has no place in our communities. I also want to recognize the leadership of the survivor mentors. Their lived experience strengthens this work that no system alone can. At One More Child, we make it a priority to have a survivor leader every single night and during every operation, because their insight isn't just valuable, it is essential. It is now my privilege to introduce you to one of those leaders, and her name is Stacey Ham. Thank you.
All righty. We pretty much cover most of it. I am going to leave links in the description for anybody that wants to watch the full press conference. I do want to what's it, Polk County. I do want to take a look back on the full around and find out. Okay. And this is one from 2025. I think it was 255 arrests. And this one was interesting because you had an actual former Bucks player that got caught up in it.
We had people come from 12 different states to be arrested.
All right, so this one is from 11 months ago.
We had people come from 12 different states to be arrested in Polk County, Florida. Obviously, they must live under a rock, but now they live in the county jail.
A massive sex sting. Polk County Sheriff.
So as you can see, the one we just watched is the one from this year that he came out in May and reported on. He did a conference on it, right? And that was Poke Around and Find Out. This is the one they did before that called Fool Around and Find Out. And the only thing they changed, and you could see the comedy in it that they put in there, highlighting the FAFO in there. Like, they went all out for this. They spared no expense. And they, how well they paid attention to just every detail in this operation is down to even the font and the letters on the board, right? But all they did was say, take the word fool off the board and replace it with poke. And we just gonna do a rerun, right? We gonna spin again. And people still showed up. They still showed up. This is 255 for the fool around and find out. They did poke around and find out, and damn it, the board looked the damn same. And yes, of course, people still show up. Why? Because predators don't think like normal people. Predators are driven by compulsion, ego, denial, fantasy, entitlement, poor impulse control, and they believe they're smarter than the system. And every single sting operation proves that they're not.
Grady Judd claims these men and women fooled around and found out the consequences. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 5. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Dave Wagner. That bust netted more than 200 arrests, in 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser spent the afternoon digging into their backgrounds. One of them, a former Bucks player.
Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd calls this one of the most successful operations in the agency's history.
As you can see, a lot of people fooled around and found out.
In all, deputies made 244 arrests, but within those numbers, the sheriff pointed to 3 categories of criminal activity: prostitution, human trafficking, and immigration.
We had people come from 12 different states to be arrested in Polk County, Florida. Obviously, they must live under a rock, but now they live in the county jail.
On the prostitution side, 141 Johns arrested. They include a former executive with the Red Cross, a former NFL linebacker who played for the Buccaneers, a Walmart manager, a popular restaurant owner, and 11 people who detectives say thought they were soliciting a teenager for sex.
And he told this 15-year-old child, I want to put a baby in you. Well, we put a gel in him. So there you go.
On the human trafficking side, investigators identified 4 victims, forced, they say.
That's how sick these people are. He said, I'm going to put a baby in you, thinking that he was talking to a child. What a sicko. What is his name? Arthur Dennard? Ugh.
A teenager for sex.
And he told this 15-year-old child, I want to put a baby in you. Well, we put a gel in him. So there you go.
On the human trafficking side, investigators identified 4 victims, forced, they say, into prostitution.
Thank you, Sheriff.
An organization called One More Child, right there with them to provide help and services.
No one grows up wanting to sell their bodies for profit. And we are committed to providing opportunities for a life outside of sexual exploitation and human trafficking.
Several agencies from the Tampa Bay area participated, local, state, and federal, including ICE.
They're not coming here the right way.
Sheriff Judd says 36 of those arrested are in the country illegally.
15% of the people that we arrested weren't even supposed to be in this country, but they were in this country committing crime.
Sheriff Judd says those arrested during Operation Fool Around and Find Out range in age from 17 to 70. Those who are in the country illegally face enhanced charges and likely deportation. In Winter Haven, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Sheriff Judd pointing out, for those that say what they want to say about immigration laws, and he's showing you, hey, look, 15% of them, they weren't even supposed to be here.
Unbelievable operation. This operation was only possible because of remarkable work by a lot of professionals. I'm excited today. As you can see, a lot of people fooled around and found out. And I want to start for just a couple of minutes and go down the list because this is very important. I want to make sure that we recognize, for example, our NGOs, One More Child and Heartland for Children, and you'll hear from them in a few minutes. Heartland for Children is contracted to DCF. Because when we do these human trafficking operations, we make sure that we're able to begin services immediately as soon as we discover them. So we couldn't do these at the quality and the level we do without them.
I'm gonna skip ahead. But shout out to all those agencies and stuff. So it is with no disrespect I do that. I did this. I covered this on the other video on my channel. I didn't plan on showing this, so I don't even have that link ready, but it's on my channel. But he's gonna go over the some of the people that they arrested.
Medical field, RN, CNA, medical techs. We had a lot of different people from a database at an international airport. Now that gives me comfort. IT database guy for the federal government. Crane operators, business owners.
All right, so what he's doing now is he's going over the different type of people, just different walks of life of people that they catch in these sting operations. Like they just come from different walks of life. I remember in Fool Around to Find Out, one of these people was like, was a dentist. One used to play for the Bucks. Just different people from all walks of life.
One active Navy, 13 veterans, a medical doctor, a retired NFL player, engineers, insurance brokers and agents, regional vice president of a timeshare, Walmart store manager, party planner, IT database, IT software engineer, an IT guy that works in a technology area at an international airport. Now that gives me comfort. IT database guy for the federal government. Crane operators, business owners, and in the medical field, RNs, CNA, medical techs. We had a lot of different people from a lot of walks of life here. But you can see how remarkable this operation is. And I am going to go over in just a few minutes some of the things that you just can't believe. Now, I'm going to start with the predators. They're the ones that obviously worry me the absolute most. I'm going to go through these quickly because we have several of them. This is Audie out of Tampa, and he's registered because he had sex with a minor in 2007. He's been to prison on 2 different occasions, and he's out. We've said it over and over. If a sex predator is out, he's dangerous. And he came here thinking he was going to have sex with a 15-year-old child. In fact, he didn't actually travel. He just talked online, and Tampa police, one of our colleagues in this operation, picked him up. And he told this 15-year-old child, I want to put a baby in you. Well, we put a gel in him. So there you go. Then there's Eric Corliss. Eric Corliss is a regional executive for Red Cross Disaster Relief. Think about this. Red Cross does marvelous, beautiful work, and we're so proud of them. But this guy has embarrassed himself and embarrassed his family and embarrassed the Red Cross. He's a big boss. He's an Army veteran. He's married. He was, are you ready for this? Get a grip. He was married to a law enforcement officer, a supervisor in Hillsborough County. That's right. He left his phone at home so his wife, I'm sure a trained detective, wouldn't know where he was. When she heard about it, she's absolutely mortified, and she packed up and left, and she said, sayonara, I'm taking the kids and leaving.
And he's the worst kind of predator. Somebody in a trusted position, and not even just that. Who his victim's gonna tell anything? He's in a powerful, trusted position. These are like the worst kind of predators, men like him. Very dangerous. And thank God he was caught.
This didn't appear to be the first time he was experienced at what he did. And he also went to great lengths to try to hide his identity when he was online. But think about this. A professional man with the Red Cross, married to a professional lady, and he took advantage of her, embarrassed her and the children, and he went to jail.
And if you pay attention to the date in the title, it says News Conference, Fool Around and Find Out, and Operation Child Protector, right? And it says May 16, 2025. Literally, same time, same year, same place, same kinds of people show up to get arrested and to get caught. I cannot wait to next year to see if these people fall for it again. And I hope they do, because they need to be caught.
Then there's Vern Cunningham. He's 26. He's an illegal alien. Our ICE partners put a hold on him. He came for sex with a 15-year-old female. He brought cookies. Wasn't that nice? You know, I mean, after all, she's a child. She may want a cookie. You know, where's the milk? You know what I'm saying? But he wanted to bargain. I'll pay half up front and half after it's over. And when we arrested him,
he got something. He might have brought the damn virus over with him. Like, what the fuck? The hell is going on?
we asked this guy, well, why did you do this? He said, well, curiosity killed the cat. Well, you're going to have the cat people on you now.
Curiosity killed the cat. What the fuck?
Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
So Gregory Cooper's from Wesley Chapel. He's married for 31 years. He's got 2 adult daughters. He was in the Air Force for 20 years. He had a top secret clearance. Huh. That's interesting.
Rewind that. Hold on. Married over 30 years, has 2 daughters of his own. Air Force top clearance.
Gregory Cooper's from Wesley Chapel. He's married for 31 years. He's got 2 adult daughters. He was in the Air Force for 20 years. He had a top secret clearance. Huh. That's interesting. He came thinking he was going to have sex with a 14-year-old male. And since it's a kid, he goes, what might he like? I'll take him an orange soda and some fruit gummies. Was that before or after? You know, I'm just saying. He's a regional manager for Enzer Roller in Lakeland, at least he was. He was very nasty and very graphic with what he said and did.
Can you imagine what his wife and his daughters may think? Your dad, like, I mean, like, if you, like, just on surface level, right? You're like, man, your husband or your dad is like this top guy out the Air Force and married over 30 years. Just, I mean, he would seem like just the picture of ultimate, just successful guy. And to find out that he was trying to get some 14, 15-year-old little boy, that's what he got arrested for. And the nature, like they're not, I'm pretty sure they're not going to read the messages or whatever. But just, and he was being graphic and just nasty and sexual. It's just, you talking about wearing 2 fucking faces. You talking about Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde over here.
They're in prison. County jail, actually, now. Prison's where we're going to do our best to send them. Nicholas Capart's 46 from Riverview. He's married. He's got 2 children. He spent 10 years in the Marines, and he wanted sex with a 14-year-old girl. And he said, hey, if this goes well, I'll permanently make you my girlfriend. His chat was remarkably nasty as well. Then there's Domingo Francisco Miguel. He's married with 3 children. He has a legal green card. However, upon his conviction, ICE has agreed to relook at him because he's not a U.S. citizen, but he has a green card to be here. He traveled to have sex with a 15-year-old girl.
Wow. So these guys married with children and oh my God, you talking about just these guys have. I'm telling you, it's got to be an addiction. It's got to be a mental thing. It's got to be an addiction. It's some type of sickness that they have. It's insane.
He's not a U.S. citizen, but he has a green card to be here. He traveled to have sex with a 15-year-old girl. He told his boss, now he lied to his boss too, by the way. I just thought I'd share that with you, that he needed to go get some medicine. I guess he didn't realize that his medicine that he'll get will be at the county jail. But he was a jolly old soul. He said, when I get out of this, I'd like to be a detective. I don't know if he's trying to, grease us up or.
Who the fuck gonna let him be a detective? What is he talking about? Was he high when he said that? Who gets arrested for going to sleep with a minor and it said, "Oh, I like y'all work. I'm gonna be a detective after this." They would never let you be a detective, sir. The fuck?
If he's just a nut job. Doesn't make any difference. He's going to the county jail. Aston Mack, he's 35 from Deltona. He wanted sex with a 15-year-old girl. He ran from us. Can you believe that? That wasn't nice, but he did. He thought he was talking up a deal with a family member. Well, I'll pay you and I have sex with a child. What? What are you thinking? Now, he worked for the Opportunity Community Ability Group, OCA, in Orange County. And that's a group that helps special needs children. They say he never had any contact by himself with the children. Mostly he was admin support. But I want to brag on OCA. The second that we notified them, they terminated him. They were totally cooperative. They were mortified. They were glad that we found him and arrested him. But he's in jail, charged with human trafficking. Matthew Klein is 48. He's a receptionist at Guard Law Legal Group in Lakeland. He shouldn't have to go far to find an attorney to represent him. He wanted to have sex with a 14-year-old male. He thought the child was home alone. He admitted that he had had sex before with children. That's still under investigation. He was also looking for children on 2 different apps. We found him really working hard to find children. He traveled and he, by the way, neglected to tell us in our undercover capacity that, oh, by the way, when I have sex with you, I'm HIV positive, which that is a criminal violation of law in the state of Florida, not to.
What the hell? So you got a guy that targets children. And no, not only does he target children, he is also doing this knowing that he has HIV. That's a sick ass motherfucker for real. And what should be done to him, I cannot say on YouTube, but I'm thinking horrible things. I'm thinking medieval. You know, like where they got that thing, the bull. Who saw that movie, The Immortals? What was it, Immortals? Something like that. Remember the one guy? He's like the villain of the movie, and he would put the people inside of a bull. It's like a metal bull. It's hollow on the inside. He put you in there, and then they put a fire up under the bull, and they just let it heat up while you. Something like that. Something like that.
Notify your partner that you are HIV positive. But there are several things before I go on to the others that I think you should know, because these people.
And that guy has no soul. It just, I don't know. That's crazy to me. Somebody that's purposely going around trying to sleep with children and knowing that they have HIV is crazy to me. It's extremely a sad thing. Like he's,
People are unbelievable. I picked out a few of their quotes I thought I'd share with you. Y'all get a 10-star rating for customer service. This is really awesome. Not for me, but for y'all. Oh, by the way, can I do my volunteer time with you guys? No. This guy said I had the option of going to church or coming here. I picked here. So, wrong choice. He had a choice. He had a chance to be in church, talking with Jesus, worshiping, doing what's right. Instead, he wanted to be on his knees in a brothel. I don't understand it. Just thinking out loud.
I don't know if that guy even. I don't know. Nobody's safe around him. Not even Jesus.
Altar brothel. This guy was a realist.
He probably would have been on his knees either way.
Altar brothel. This guy was a realist. Well, this is God's sign not to do this. He thought that was a bad idea. And just thinking, God spoke directly to him. It's amazing how God comes in clear focus when you're under arrest. I used to always say, Jesus lives in the county jail because everybody I took there found him. So this guy says, oh, we're in Polk County? My friend was just arrested here last night. You got to be kidding me. Now,
I told you they can't stay away. Somebody got arrested and said my friend was just arrested here last night. Yeah. So what? Oh my God.
Start to introduce you to some of these morons. But here's the one that I think is just super cool. This is like mother, like daughter. So we're talking to a mom. She's 48, Sherry Pena. She's on public assistance. She's living at a DV shelter in Central Florida. She drove her daughter, Haley Pena, 23, to have sex. When we ask her, you're a mother to this young lady, what are you thinking? She said, oh, wait a minute. I just thought I was taking her to buy drugs. Oh, that's better. You're taking her to her drug dealer, right? So anyway, the mother and daughter were also arrested in 2024 for battery over 65 years of age person. She's arrested. Did I tell you she's on felony probation already? Yep. That's right. She's on felony probation. So that's just a little color there, but let's get to the stack and go through real quickly, and then we'll turn it over to our colleagues here of some other things. Let me get this out of the way. All right, I'm going to go through these. How about Jason Bathis from 43 from Davenport? This is our human trafficking and prostitution folks. He's charged with offering to commit. This Jason Bathis, okay? When he walks in, you think, well, I have set up a deal with an ugly woman. And I think you would all agree that this guy's an ugly woman, right? This is what you really get when the makeup comes off. This is Jason Bathis. Now, I want you to think about this a minute, okay? You decide.
He should be arrested just for dressing like that. Oh my God. What? Oh my goodness. What he look like? He look like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. That's what he looks like.
Decide that you're going to hook up with a woman. She comes in and she's already uglier than a mud fence, right? And then as you start to engage, you find out, hey, this dudette is a dude, and look what he really looks like. Yeah, he looks like he should have been in a Scarface movie someplace. I don't know. This is what's happening. People think they're getting this, and many times they're getting a really bad guy. So this is the before and after. You know,
I don't think they should want either
when
one
you
of
find
them.
them in the bar.
They shouldn't want either one of them, man. Shame on anybody going to see either one of them.
Or at night, you know, you try to drink them pretty, and you wake up the next morning and you see this. Yeah, that's what we call Rolex ugly. Rolex ugly is you wake up the next morning and they're laying on your arm and your Rolex is there, and you just chew your arm off and leave the Rolex. You just got to get out of there. You don't care about the Rolex. But that's the kind of people we're going to talk about today. Then there's a Darius Taylor. He's 34. He played at Lake Gibson High School football. Went on to have an outstanding career in the NFL. He played for the Carolina Panthers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Cleveland Browns, and he was a linebacker. But listen, the dude made a lot of mistakes. He not only brought his 6-year-old child to the operation, but he left his 6-year-old child in the car when he went to do the operation. The 6-year-old child has a lot of medical issues, and he left this child alone that should have never been left alone because of medical conditions. DCF was on site, took possession of the child immediately, found mom. Mom came and got the child. The child is doing fine. This guy here, you know, obviously he must have hit one too many people as a linebacker because his brain cells are scrambled. He shouldn't have shown up in the first place, but to leave that child, my goodness.
I hope they never, ever let him back around that child ever again. This is why I be talking about the addictions, man. This is a serious issue there. Hopefully he gets himself some help. The fact that you even show up somewhere like that to see some prostitutes with your kid, and your kid has medical issues. And I think I watched actually the news report on him. I know one of the things is the child has autism. So yeah.
So he picked up a child neglect charge along with everything else. Then there's David Michael. He's 35. He's a medical doctor for Orlando Health. He showed up. He's got dual citizenship. He's also from the country of Egypt. And he decided to, hey, you know, I'm not saving any lives or making people feel better tonight, so I'll go make sure I feel better by going to this house of ill repute that turned out being law enforcement officers from all over Central Florida doing what's right.
Oh, damn. What up, Silver? I missed what you were saying. I know who you're talking about too. You're talking about the cross-dresser dude talking about with a mix of penguin man. Right here. You absolutely right. Batman the Penguin. Yep. You are absolutely correct. I was like Festa, and then I was trying to think of somebody else, but you hit the nail on the head right there. The Penguin is absolute, exactly. Looks just like him. Festa and the Penguin Man had a baby. Yep. Oh man. You're absolutely correct. Yep. It looks just like them two motherfuckers for real. All right, where I was at. There we go.
Doctor for Orlando Health. He showed up. He's got dual citizenship. He's also from the country of Egypt. And he decided to, hey, you know, I'm not saving any lives or making people feel better tonight, so I'll go make sure I feel better by going to this house of ill repute that turned out being law enforcement officers from all over Central Florida doing what's right. Then there's Namish Patel. Namish is 53. He's an event planner. He didn't plan on this event, but he is an event planner. He's on public assistance. Yep. We asked him, dude, what are you doing here? He says, you know, my wife's being treated for cancer at Moffitt. Well, number one, if you have cancer, there's not a better place, any place, than Moffitt, okay? Highly recommend that. But since she's being treated, I thought I'd just show up here. You got to be kidding me, man. You're not home taking care of your wife, somebody who's done everything for you. You're out scallydogging around, and your wife's sick.
And that's so sad to think about that his wife is with cancer, and in his mind he could still go and try to sleep with somebody else. But what's even sadder about that, and y'all can look this up yourselves, is that statistically, when a partner gets sick, men are more likely to divorce or leave the relationship when their partner gets sick. So this is a prime example of that, you know.
Nasty people. Then there's Patrick Dang. He's 40. He's from Newport Richey. He's married. And he owns Dang Good Sushi in Trinity, Florida. Yeah. He came for a dang good time, but it didn't work out that way. Next time you go there.
That's why, man, say I'd be cracking up. I could not be like in the background while he's doing this and making fun of these people. I could not be back there because there's no way I could contain my laughter.
Dang Good Sushi in Trinity, Florida. Yeah. He came for a dang good time, but it didn't work out that way. Next time you go there and get sushi, you may want to make sure that he's wearing gloves or washed his hands. And by the way, I had some law enforcement officers that had been at his restaurant, said it's pretty good sushi. Alphonse Ibua, 37. He's an IT tech for Paragon Systems, and he's contracted by the federal government. He's married. He's an 8-year Army vet. His wife thought he was at the gym. Well, he was going to do some exercise. I got to admit that. Until he found out it was us. So we ask him, okay, why did you do this? Well, you know, my wife's indisposed this week, so I just thought I'd come down here for some stress relief.
That's insane. Army vet, married. There's a lot of married guys popping up, right? And this guy, Army vet, and got government contracts, and he's doing this. You just trying to fuck your life up.
Well, his wife ain't happy. Just thought I'd add that. And he went to jail. Then there's Jonathan Epstein, who's 38. He's a Walmart manager. Now, he came and he said, oh, I'll pay extra because I don't want to wear any protection. Well, that's just dandy, you know? I guess next time you go to Walmart, you know, and he greets you, hi, I'm here for, you know, you can say, you have any protection? Ahmad Ansat, 22. He's a registered nurse for Tampa General. And Tampa General, by the way, I didn't come here to advertise all these wonderful places, and they're professional places. Tampa General, if you get very sick or have a significant injury, you want to make your way to Tampa General. It's top of the line. Not so with him, but the rest of them do good. Isaac Torado de Jesus, he's 28. He's unemployed. Now, he's going to spend money, understand, but he's unemployed, okay? And you go, well, his wife at that moment in time is working at Lakeland Regional Health. She's 8 months pregnant, working while he is spending money because he's unemployed, right? Spending her money on prostitutes. When we asked him why, he said, I had a lot of spare time.
I bet you did have a lot of spare time. What sorry ass man is sitting out here unemployed, spending his wife's money, ain't working, ain't bringing a dime in. The wife, who just so happened to be 8 months pregnant, is actually the one working. But I guess she don't have a choice because she doesn't have somebody that she can depend on.
Okay. I don't even know how to explain that. Then there's Arthur Lark II, 54, from Haines City. He's married. He was charged with soliciting sex. But this guy has, instead of doing minor crimes and working up, he did major crimes and is working down. He was first arrested in Orange County in 1990 during a drug beef. He shot at his person he was fussing with and missed and hit and killed a 16-year-old boy. An innocent person he killed. Now, while he's in jail and they're doing an investigation, jail and prison, they determined that he had also committed a 1989 murder. And in that one, he and some friends were trying to steal a vehicle. A neighbor came home and said, hey, they're stealing my neighbor's vehicle. So he confronted them. Lark pulled a gun out. The neighbor says, whoa, this is all the good news I can stand in one day. He turns and runs. Lark chases him down and kills him for trying to be a good neighbor. He did 26 years in prison. That sounds significant, but it's only 13 years for each murder. And one is an innocent kid that he missed and hit, and the other is a neighbor that was trying to help. And now he's out.
And that's the thing I was saying earlier, right? And I hate to say this because I am a black man, but when people talk about the justice system is messed up, it ain't tough enough. How could this man have killed the kid, killed the neighbor? Did you kill 2 people and still be walking around? How? It just takes me back to those arguments. People talking about the justice system and everything else. It's like, come on. I hear you, Arian. You said lock them up. Yeah, lock them up. Throw away the key. How can this guy be walking around? He done killed 2 people. How? This is insane to me. And this people you could be walking down the street past somebody that done killed 2 people. There's no reason. I don't know what kind of lawyers he had. I don't know. I have no idea. I understand there's a lot of people that get bad deals, but do understand it's a lot of people that got a slap on the fucking wrist. It's a slap on the wrist when you think about the fact that this person took 2 years and like Sheriff Judd broke it down. 2 lives, that like what's 13 years per life, and he's still able to be out here going to visit prostitutes and shit. Like, come on, man.
And involved again. And then there's Robert Burnett. He's 30. He's works in IT for the St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. He's married as well. The detective said he cried a lot and he peed his pants. I understand that. I'm married to an Auburndale girl. I would think this is the end of my life because if I go home, she's just going to kill me. I don't think that happened to him. At least there's no death reports yet, but he did go to jail.
No pissy boy pissing his pants and shit. Like, come on, man.
That's just a snapshot. They all have a story. We just picked those out. Now, I want you to hear from some of our subject matter experts that worked with us today. We'll start with Jody and Stacy from One More Child. Jody?
Thank you.
All righty. So I just wanted to play that. In the beginning of the video, and the whole purpose of me doing this live is I try to do at least one live along with my other videos that I will be putting up during the week on something dealing with crime, and usually I try to target cases where it's going to involve children that are being taken advantage of and hurt, because crimes against children, I swear, get swept under the rug. So but I wanted to go back and play some of this video, because this is from Fool Around and Find Out, and this is from 2025. The video that we were watching earlier in the beginning of this live was Polk Around and Find Out, and that's from this year, May of 2026. And so you have in this operation 200, I know earlier I said 255 arrests, but in this operation was 244 arrests. This year, the operation Poke Around and Find Out, there were 266 arrests. So insane. Okay. All right, so I'm about to close this out. I'm gonna try to come back and do another live. I think I might watch like a little friendly debate or something like that, or I might do one on that guy, Nature Boy, the cult leader that he got arrested and was given a lot of time. So with that being said, I want to appreciate everybody that came through. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can come back and see me again. Okay. Let me get my final thoughts, and then I'm up out of here. I'm about to get me something to eat. All right. So when you look at an operation like this, it's easy to focus on the number 266 arrests being the number. But the real story is the pattern. Every time law enforcement runs one of these things, the same types of people show up. Teachers, coaches, business owners, husbands, fathers, people with clean records and dirty intentions. All right. We got to see a lot of married men, Army veterans, people with government contracts. There's you saw a guy that has a top position in the Red Cross organization. Human trafficking doesn't survive because of monsters in the shadows. It survives because everyday people feel the demand. And child predators, well, they're not hiding in alleys. They're hiding behind screens in neighborhoods, in jobs that give them access and trust. Operation Poke Around and Find Out is a reminder that the fight against exploitation is ongoing, uncomfortable, and absolutely necessary. It shows what happens when law enforcement actually prioritizes these crimes, and it exposes how many predators were walking around unchecked. Okay. It exposes how many predators are walking around unchecked. As always, stay aware, stay informed, stay vigilant, because the riskiest behavior is pretending this stuff isn't happening right in front of us. Once again, I appreciate you all. I'm just here to bring awareness. Let's see. Ortiz says, speaking of cult leaders, Willie Brown was an avid supporter of Jim Jones, who was a socialist. Kamala dated Willie Brown and became a socialist herself. That's interesting. Let me I'm gonna take a picture of that and I'm gonna look into that, man. That's one thing I do like about the chat when people drop different names and stuff. And I usually like I'll make me like a playlist and like I'll just like load it all up and look through it. So yep. Marcus says we have many of those type of people who live in our neighborhoods as well. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's what makes it scary when you start seeing the people like when Sheriff Grady Judd was putting up these pictures and he's giving these people storylines and stuff, and you're like, wow, you think these are people drooling from the mouth in the back alley in the dark, like, ugh, ugh, but it's not. It's it could be your neighbor. Literally, it could be your neighbor. Like one guy married what was it, like they had the one guy, he was the white guy, he was top guy in the Air Force, married over 30 some years with 2 daughters and everything, and he was going to go try to sleep with a 15-year-old boy. Then you had the other guy, this black guy, he was an Army vet, married, government contracts, and he was arrested going to go see a prostitute. It's just crazy. Just crazy. Let's see. Marcus says a friend of mine who was the chief of police in our neighborhood also stopped at my house and told me that there was a predator who lived in our neighborhood. I'm telling you, man. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I don't think I would get in trouble for saying this because they're oh so protective. But I remember a long time ago, I worked at Disney, and one of the guys that's a performer, he played Goofy, right? He got arrested and got in trouble because his roommate reported him because he had child sexual abuse material on their computer. Now, this is a long time ago. This is back when you had to have 2 people help you move a desktop computer. So, and I remember like the way when we would go down there and work for the college program, like me, I had the desktop computer, and you would put it, in the you have the living room, and then you got like this little desk area. And if anybody needed to use the computer, go ahead and use it, right? So I'm thinking that's what the situation was. He was the one that had the computer and must have had a lapse in judgment. Thank God he had a lapse in judgment, right? Forgetting what he had on his computer or thinking that, people are nosy. He probably thought like, oh, ain't nobody gonna go into my files and stuff. But I guess his roommate did. So this is one of the days his roommate was using his computer. And I remember that was like the big thing. And I remember my roommates was telling me about it. It was like, yo, did you hear about the guy that played Goofy? I'm like, who? Like, but he was one of the other people down there that was doing the college program. So he's probably like around, I couldn't drink at the time. I think I was like maybe 19, 20. He probably was like 20, 19. He was either 18 or 21 years old, and stuff. But yeah, you'll be surprised. Let's see. And Marcus says, and he was dressed as a woman. Oh, I'm telling you, they had a bunch of them on the videos that I played today, man. They had a bunch of them dressed up as women, and it was crazy. But anywho, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate you all for stopping through. Don't forget to thumbs up, like the video, share it, tell a friend to tell a friend. Use this as a conversation piece. I think it's important for us all to spread awareness. And don't let these stories go away. I like doing this because the news, they have their own agenda, the things that they want to show. And then when I'm on my YouTube, I get to show the things that I think is important. So, and I get to spread my awareness. So, anywho, I'm Mr. Diabolical himself. This is Risky Behavior ENT. I appreciate you all. Hope to see you next time. Peace.
Risky behavior.